Hello, parents. You know, the 11 plus exam is just around the corner. And if your child is appearing for the 11 plus exam, please remember there are few mistakes which students make almost every year. So I'm going to give you the list of those mistakes. So make sure your child is not making those mistakes, right? And also, I'm offering a boot camp. It is a fast track preparation for the 11 plus exam. If your child wants to join it just to make sure they get into the grammar school to prepare themselves very well, you can just send me a message and I will reply to your message. So the first mistake which is very common is spending too long on difficult questions, right? So do not spend too long time on difficult question. Instead, you can skip that question if it's difficult, do other questions, and then your child can come back to that question. So the next question, the next mistake is rushing through the questions very fast, right? So do not rush through the question. What instead your child should do, spend time, try to understand the question, and then start answering the question. So the next mistake which is very popular is not reading the questions carefully. So always read the question carefully, think what have been asked to you, and then you can start answering the question. So please remember to join my boot camp. That can be very helpful for your child. So the next mistake which is very common is making careless mistakes. Careless mistakes are very common. We call them silly mistakes as well. So make sure you can get rid of them only with the practice, right? So the next mistake, which is very popular, is not checking the units. So whenever you're writing, whether it's centimeter, meters, whatever the unit is, you must write that, right? And then misreading the graphs, right? Children misread the graph questions. So make sure they should be really familiar with that and they should read the graphs carefully, right? So the next mistake, which is very popular, is forgetting to estimate the answers, right? So they do not estimate the answer and they don't calculate them very well and they get the wrong answers, right? So the next topic, which is weak time management, right? So always do the practice papers in time condition. So you should be able to answer the questions in the real exam in the within the time as well. So that is very popular mistake which students make almost in every year, right? So next mistake, which is very common, is not checking the units, right? Checking the units is very important, whether it's meter or centimeter. Your child must write the units carefully, right? That's very important because units can your child can lose marks because of not writing the correct units. And the other mistake is guessing without eliminating, right? So first you use the elimination method to answer the question. That is very important, right? Another very popular mistake which students make is, right, they make mistakes in fractions, decimal, and percentages, right? Although it looks very simple, but students do make mistakes in these ones. So make sure your child is very well prepared for that as well, and they are not making these mistakes. Remember to join my boot camp, and that will be very helpful for your child, right? Then not another mistake is not looking for the on the patterns, right? They don't look at the pattern, they just tick anything, right? Don't do this well as well. Then having limited vocabulary. So please remember, I have written a synonyms antonyms book. Vocabulary is very important for 11 plus exam. Your child must be extremely good in English vocabulary. The next thing, which is very popular, is ignoring punctuation and grammar, right? Grammar and punctuation, that they are very important, and so make sure your child is not making mistake in punctuation and grammar. And the next mistake, which is very popular, is changing the what they do is they give the wrong answer just because of the doubts. Don't do this, right? They're not practicing under the time condition. So make sure whenever you are doing practice paper, you are doing them in the time condition, right? So guys, if you want to join my boot camp, it can be very helpful for the 11 plus exam preparation. Just send me a message and I will reply to that. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.